Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Evolution. So in the last episode we updated to beta 1.2 and we went ahead and explored the massive amount of features that the update brought. I mean, well, compared to the previous updates it was pretty big. The first thing we did was we went over to some new chunks, we did some lapis mining, and then we came back and we worked on a dye shop that you can just see over there with the colored wool. We just pretty much worked on that for the remainder of the episode, and I believe that's all we did. We also did update some older builds as well because we saw the additional colored wool. Essentially, beta 1.2, big update. We had a lot to do, and in this episode we will be continuing on in beta 1.2 as per usual with our beta episodes and exploring the remaining features. Now there's only 2 new blocks that I want to go over in this episode because all the other stuff we pretty much went over in the initial episode anyway, and some of the stuff I couldn't find and I still haven't bothered to go out and try and find. But anyway, so I'll give you all a little update. In between the previous episode, I did do a live stream where I went back over to the new chunks and we actually made a proper lapis mine over there. So I went there, I went back and I just, I got a whole bunch more lapis. I think I ended up getting around 2 stacks. I got a decent amount on stream and then I just continued off camera. And I had about 2 stacks total. And yeah, we also do have a ton of diamonds remaining. I have some more ores that I didn't bring with me that are still there, but yeah, we pretty much got nearly a stack of diamonds. And yeah, I've just made myself a fresh new set of diamond tools here. So anyways, let's head into what the main things for today are. Now, as I said, there are only 2 blocks remaining that I want to go over in this episode. And those being the dispenser and the note block. So what we're going to do is we're just going to head into our lovely redstone workshop over here, which we haven't touched in a while. And the first thing we'll do is I'm just going to clear all this out. There we go. So there's our X clock pulsar, whatever it was, that's been sitting there since episode 3. Finally been packed up. So I've gone ahead and packed us some materials here. So if we go ahead and grab some cobblestone, we grab a bow, and we already have our redstone. What we can do is if we go like this, we do that, and then that. There you go. We can make a dispenser. And then if we make a chest recipe like this, and then we put a redstone dust in the middle, we get the note block. So these are our 2 new additions, 2 remaining, I guess, additions that are in beta 1.2. So we'll start off with the dispenser. Now, I'm going to be very brief with this stuff. You all know how this stuff works, let's be honest. So here we go. Here's our dispenser, which, by the way, I love the way this old dispenser looks. I just think it looks so cool. So you all know how this works pretty much. If this thing receives a redstone signal, it activates and shoots out whatever is in there. Now currently it is empty, but if I were to say put some arrows in there, there we go. We pretty much got a turret. And we could also, I believe, put eggs in there too. I don't know if this works in this version. It does. There we go. So we could just shoot out an egg if we want to. And oh, okay, I'm realizing can't actually pick up the arrows I've shot out of this. That is actually a bit annoying. Let me just see, maybe it's because it's on glass. Hold on. Can I pick that up? No, I cannot. Okay, so that is something to be aware of. If you do shoot arrows out of dispensers, you can't pick them up. And I also wanted to test and see if we could actually dispense boats from these. Let's see. No, we can't. Okay, so in later versions we can dispense things like minecarts and boats, but right now we unfortunately just cannot do that. So it all just seems like what you can do right now is just dispense the projectile items. And yeah, same goes for water, so you can't dispense any of that. And our second addition here is the note block. Now I'm sure all of you are very familiar with the note block. I'm going to go ahead and just make a couple of them here now. But pretty much this just allows us to make little tunes, and you can pretty much use different types of instruments and stuff. So if I were to just lay out bunch like this, which interestingly they make stone noises instead of the wood ones, and pretty much if I were to left click them I can play a note, and if I right click them I can increase the note or change the note. So if I just go ahead and tweak this, there's little bits of TNT by Captain Sparkles and Tryhard Ninja. I was looking for a song to play with these note blocks that I could just, play, just clicking them, and I thought that one would be an easy one to do, so pretty much just had to listen out for the notes in the video. I didn't actually look up a guide for this. I thought it would be kind of fun to listen out and try and get them right. But yeah, so those are our new note blocks, and obviously some extra things you can do with these is if you use different materials here. So if I were to use stone or dirt, they play different noises. There you go, very lovely. So those are pretty much the last remaining features of this update, and what we'll be doing next is pretty much, it goes hand in hand with what we are just doing now. And that is working on some new buildings for relating to these blocks. So I'm just going to go ahead and sort all these, and I will get with you guys in a second. All right, so if we just head back over to our dye shop, we did have some extra, plots of land that I left open for new builds. And what the main focus of this episode will be is building these. So as you can see, I've got the area for one building, another building there, and I'm planning on doing another floor to this building, and then this section will just be like a balcony to that building. So yeah, so you can see I've already kind of laid out the frame of this. So pretty much what I'm planning is this bottom building down here is going to be a note block store. The one right next to it is going to be a redstone store. So pretty much all of your redstone equipment, your torches, levers, pressure plates, note blocks, dispensers. Maybe not note blocks because they're already being sold there, but all the redstone mechanisms and stuff will be sold in this store. And then right above here, I thought of doing like a tavern bar, something right above it. So yeah, anyways, let's just go ahead and get started. So I've gone ahead and gathered a whole bunch of stuff. I took a lot of the stone I gathered from the lapis mine, so that's already got us set for a while. I shouldn't have to go out and gather more like last episode, because last episode I was constantly going back and forth having to get more stuff. But this time I believe we should be prepped. So the main materials I'm going to be using are things like bricks, stone slabs. I've also gone ahead and got a stack of glowstone. This was a pain in the ass to get because, again, I'm pretty sure I say this every time, but the way you craft this back in the day is it's not a 2x2 like in this. It's an actual 3x3 recipe, and each glowstone block only drops one glowstone dust, and I think it remains this way until beta 1.6, I think. So yeah, we're gonna have to endure this recipe for the next while, but yeah, I pretty much just gathered a whole bunch of glowstone just so we're kind of set on that. But yeah, so anyways, let's begin with the first building, which is the note block store. Okay, so we just head over here. The idea for this floor is yet again another little checkerboard thing. I always like doing these, so we're just gonna alternate between logs and sandstone. So I thought that would look pretty cool. Now the shape of this building is a little bit weird. I kind of had to like add an extra log on that side because I didn't want just one extra thing that kind of went out like that. Just thought that would look dumb. So let's just fill all this in now, just like that. And our walls for this building will be made out of brick. So we're pretty much just going to be covering this whole wall up. You won't be seeing this from the inside. And I'm hoping, I believe I should have enough bricks for this. I'm just hoping I do because I don't want to go out on another clay hunt. I had to wait quite a while because I'm going to have like a planter pot up there. If you're wondering what that grass is, there's going to be like a planter pot by the window of the second floor. I had to wait so long for that to turn into grass, man. It's the main thing that was keeping me from making this video. I was waiting 37 years for that, just so I can get out of the way. But this building over here, like I said, is a redstone store. So actually, I'm going to leave this blank right here, because I do want to have a display window for any new items that are added in. So we just do that again for the main door, and the rest of this will just be all blocked up. And now our little hidden park is actually, hidden. Let me just hop up to the next floor. I'm going to do all like the walls and stuff to these buildings first, and then we'll work on doing the what's it called? The decorations. That's it. In the word. Also, I finally got these to turn into grass as well. So when I built these little pots here, these planter pots, I don't know really pots, just planters, I guess. Had to make like a whole little road of grass that went up just to get these to turn. But I finally got it, so that's nice and sorted now. So the entrance for this building here is going to actually be on this floor now. I believe it's meant to be logs on these ends as well. I don't know why I haven't put them. Must have forgotten. Just do that. And that'll change into that. So I'll just have a little staircase there, and this will just head up into this building. And it's unfortunate we don't have beds yet. That's honestly one of my most hyped features. I'm just really excited to finally be able to sleep. And so the idea, like I said, for this building up here is going to be some sort of like bar or tavern type of thing. I'm going to have this section here be like an outdoor sitting area. So it'll have a similar ceiling to this building. And that's pretty much what that's going to be. So I've also decided to just get a little variation. I'm going to kind of use like stone slabs as like a texturing thing. Starting with the note block store over here, we're just going to get started with a simple door. There we go. Now, the lighting for this area is a little bit thin because I'm not sure if I could sneak in any glowstone. What I'll do is once we decorate the area above, I'll see if there's any blocks I can kind of like sneak any glowstone bits under, but don't think there will be, so we'll just stick with the torches for now. So, as I mentioned before, there are different instruments that you can play with the note blocks depending on the block that is underneath, so we're going to pretty much just be doing that with this place. We'll just kind of lay out each one of them. So we have dirt, there's dirt, wood, glass, stone, and I think there's also sand or gravel. I'll just go ahead and grab a sand block here. Okay, so just heading back in. The way I'm going to do this is simply just have them kind of placed out in the in like a display. Okay, hold on, I might actually just move this over by one, just like that. And then do that, and then we'll grab the sand and we'll put glass right there. We're gonna need, I'll put a counter right there. And I'll put the dirt over here actually. So there we go, that should be each one of our instruments that are currently in the game. If I'm not wrong, I believe that's every single one of them, at least so far. I don't think we'll see the addition of any new ones anytime soon. So if we just go ahead and place all these, bam, 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 you can see all of our different instruments. And there we go. Those are all of our instruments. So we have the harp, which plays with dirt, or pretty much with any other block that isn't one of these. You get the harp instrument. With stone blocks, you get the bass drum. With wood, you get the string bass. With sand, you get the snare. And with glass, you get clicks and sticks. There we go. Very nice. So that will pretty much be it for here. I don't really know what else I can add in here, if I'm being honest. I might maybe, okay, hold on. I might maybe just add like some paintings going across the top section. And I'm thinking we can get like just a bunch of 1x1 paintings just kind of dotted across. I'll try not to get duplicates next to each other. It's a bit odd. Oh, shit, no, that was... You know what, that works. Something like that. There we go. Just a little bit of flavor to the build, I guess. Yeah. Alright. So that is our note block store. One final thing I want to do is just add a sign at the top. And I want to do this in a bit of a unique way as opposed to our previous signs. And there we go. We got a fancy sign using some hashtags to, you know, make a signs with big text on them. That's what I'm trying to say. Jesus. Now, I did just realize I should probably put some jukeboxes in here, actually. I honestly completely forgot they existed for a second. So let me just go make another jukebox for this place. And we can put a chest next to it that has some music discs in there. Just do that, and we'll put a jukebox right there. We'll put a chest next to it. That can pretty much just be for any music discs that we come across. And we can just put the extra ones in there. But let me just make some more signs. Okay, how much are we selling this jukebox for? Let's do fucking $25. Music discs. We're gonna sell these for $7. There we go. It's nothing in there right now because I've only got the 2 discs that I got in, I think it was episode 6 or 7. I think it was 7. And I can't be bothered going out and getting more just for this occasion. But yeah, there we go. That is our music store. Pretty basic. We're going to move on to the next thing, which is the redstone shop. Now, the brick wall from this door is visible from here. I was thinking of covering it up, but I actually kind of like how it looks. I think it looks kind of cool. It also gives us some extra space, so I won't be doing that. So I'm just going to put some glowstone in the corners here, just like that. I should probably do something like that for the music store too, actually, but just for now, we'll do that. And the way I want to do this one is similar to all of our beachside shops. So I'll just go head over there in a second. So just walking through the beachside area here, you can see the way I've kind of done some of these shops is I have these display windows that just kind of show off some of the new items. So for instance, we have like bones that are visible there. Of course, I just have chests there because I can't use item frames or anything. But, you know, over here, similar thing, like diamond range tools, I mean, just something like that. So I thought for this redstone store, I'm taking a bit of inspiration from a redstone store I made in a server, or in my server, which pretty much is an evolution server. So with every, you know, update that comes around, there's a new redstone item or block. They're all kind of just displayed on a front area here. So our new addition in this update, being the dispensers, will be displayed there. Now, I was thinking of adding note blocks into there too, but I thought that I would just leave them to the music store because I don't know, I just felt like it would be a bit weird if I just had two stores side by side selling the same item. So I decided to keep them separate. So let me just go ahead and make a couple of dispensers here. Just grab my cobblestone. There we go. Inventory is a mess. So just get 3 of them. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Awesome. Now, we also are going to need some, what's it called? Some signs. That's it. I need signs. I'm just going to make a bunch of sticks just to keep on me because I know I'm going to need more signs later anyway. Not sure if that'll be enough for the whole thing, but pretty much what we'll do is we'll just have these on display right here. Only $35. Bam. What a deal. That is not a bargain at all, but you know, again, we make up the prices here. We don't go off with anything. Now, heading into the store, what I'm going to do is just pretty much have little display areas. So we'll have, okay, I need to think for a second. What items do we have? We have the lever, we have the buttons, redstone torch. What else is there? There's the pressure plates, and yeah, I guess the dispensers too. I mean, there is like iron doors and stuff, but I don't think I'll add them in here. Yeah, okay, hold up. So we'll put the counter right there, and then go one more there. And we can put that there. I think that should be enough for everything. So, for instance, this is just the display dispensers right there. So I'll have the actual, you know, dispenser for anybody that walks in. They can still see it here. We can, you know, put in that, and, you know, whatever, $35, whatever the hell. Now we also have the lever. We'll put that there because I think right here up, like kind of front center, not really front center, but just at the front, I want to put the redstone torch and the pressure plates. Now I always forget, are the wooden pressure plates in this version? They are. Perfect. Cool. And we'll get a button as well. We don't have wooden buttons yet, so that's gonna have to wait on the side. We'll just pretty much place both of these here. Now the button, I'm gonna place onto a wall block, just like that, over there. Now this empty lot right here, I'm actually gonna leave for the repeater. We don't have the repeater in the game yet. I'm gonna leave that for next update, which is beta 1.3, which adds the repeater into the game. There we go. And now we've pretty much just labeled everything. I'm just gonna leave a blank sign right there for the repeater. I might actually just hop around to the back end here. I'll add the dispensers. It's just dispenser. Just add the other bit. I think 35 is way too expensive for that thing, but you know, we're just gonna stick with it anyway. Alright, so we'll just add a door to the place. I'm out of logs. There we go. And now what I want to do is I'm thinking we can get like a little design here. We get some redstone torches. And then we can just kind of dot them at the top there. There we go. I think that looks pretty cool, you know, sell the whole redstone theme a little bit more. And a name for this place, there we go. I've decided to call this place Redstonia. Now, this is named after that one place in Minecraft story mode. Just thought I'd throw a little homage to that series. I used to love that shit as a kid, so little reference there, I guess. So I'll also just grab some red dye here from our lovely dye shop. Use it for the first time, very lovely. And I'm just going to keep that wool with me because I'm going to need more paintings later, but I'm just going to dye all this into red wool. And what I'm thinking is we'll head on back and we could just change like these little bits of logs to red wool again, just to kind of get the whole redstone thing in there a bit more. And I'm also going to place some logs down like this. I did this design for the dye shop. I actually didn't acknowledge it before. Let me just go there real quick. I did this little thing at the front and I put some flowers out of the front just to kind of add a bit more thing to the build. I thought it looked pretty nice. I'm going to do the same for these ones. You know, just add, I guess, a bit more depth. The idea originally, I kind of did a little concept for it in another world while I was working on the concepts of these builds, and I originally put leaves here, but of course we can't harvest those yet, unfortunately, so it's just going to have to be flowers or some other shit for now. Flowers or just plain grass. But anyways, there we go. That is our redstone store done. I think that turned out really nicely. My inventory is such a mess, holy shit. But with these signs, what I just want to do is just around these planters. I figured that I could just kind of surround these with signs, and it kind of emulates the whole thing of putting trapdoors around them, kind of. It looks kind of cool doing that. I did it for some of the other planters in the other buildings, but yeah, so I just thought I'd do it for that. So heading up to our final building, which is going to be our tavern. Let me just go ahead and start off by making more signs. Okay, and we have a little plant over here as well, so I'm just going to cover that. We will cover this log with a slab. And the name for this place I came up with was... I forget what it was, actually. I need to go check. Okay, there we go. So, I thought I'll call this place the Golden Apple. Now, I was tossing between some options. I did say this is a bar slash tavern, but I think the name I put was the Golden Apple Inn, which doesn't make sense because this isn't an inn. There's no place to sleep. But, I've already called another building an inn before, and it's not an inn, so we're just going to do it again. Here's our inn with no actual inn, I guess. Alright, so, next thing. Door, of course. Can't forget that one. And now, what we're going to do is we're pretty much just going to get our kitchen counter going across like this. And then we'll get like a little thingy here. I don't know what you would call this, but just do that. I usually do these with my builds. And then I'll do that. Just put those there. And what I'm thinking right here is we can actually do the old classic, what the hell's going on? A lot of noise. We could do the old classic dispenser fridge. So I'm sure that any of you who played Minecraft back in the day, you would know this design. I mean, it's not really a design that's been lost, I guess, but you know, I just don't really see it around as much. But pretty much you'll just get a block, you put a dispenser on top, and on the side you'll put a button. And you put an iron door as well, which I gotta go get iron for. I usually always carry it with me, but I guess this is the one exception I've decided to make. 1 second. Okay, heading back in. So all we pretty much do is we just kind of place it like that, and whenever we press the button, it'll launch out whatever's in there. So say I have some food on me, I'll just put that in there. Do that. Oh, there we go. We got some food. Very nice. Put that right there, and we can just stack the chests up like that. Alright, anyways though, that is everything for this build. So go ahead, we've got our lovely music store down here with our note blocks and our jukebox. Very lovely, very nice, very nice. Over here we have our redstone store, all of our redstone equipment and things to be added, or you know, our repeater, and I could probably fit in the pistons over here as well once we get those. And worst case scenario, you know, if there's more stuff that we need to add, I might just make like a staircase that goes down to like an underground floor. But anyways, yeah, so over here we have our lovely Golden Apple Inn. I don't know why I'm touring these if you guys haven't just watched me build all of them, but here you go, I guess. Here's the build. Yeah, I guess we'll just show it in its completed state. But that is everything, pretty much all summed up, all you know, all built, looking lovely. And now our park over here feels a lot more cozy and enclosed, like it was meant to be from the beginning. But of course we don't have those buildings there. Now, there are two more things I want to go over, and one of them is something that I forgot to mention at the start of this video. And that is, if we head over into our art gallery here, and then we take a tour over to the big paintings, as you can see, we have a brand new, beautiful painting in the game. This is the Skull on Fire painting, and it's a little subtle, but if you look very closely, you can see it. But yeah, shit jokes aside, this is the Skull on Fire painting. It has been added to the game in this update, but an interesting thing, as you can clearly see, it is actually missing its texture. So beta 1.3 does implement this, so what we'll do when that update comes is we'll just run back into here and we can see the painting in its full glory. But right now it is just a mess of purple blocks. And yeah, so that is the one thing that I forgot to mention. The second thing that I'm going to mention that we will be doing is heading over to the zombie farm. Now, we haven't visited there since God knows when. I visited there obviously in the live streams and stuff. I did walk past it in the previous episode, but we haven't done anything with it in a long time. And what I essentially want to do is I want to head over on the railway, and I want to actually make a proper station there. And I'm also thinking we can build like a small zombie statue there as well. So let me just go ahead and sort my inventory out, and we'll get started on that whole operation. Okay, here we are, approaching in on the zombie farm. Now I believe it's just in that cave over there. I haven't actually visited the farm itself in a very long time. Yeah, you could just see the outside. I've never even properly closed this off, I'm realizing. Or maybe I did that so it's disabled, I don't remember. But yeah, I never properly made it, I guess. So, like I said, the idea is to simply just make a simple train station for this place. So it's not going to be anything too crazy. We're pretty much just going to mimic the whole design of the other place. But the only thing I kind of wanted to change up is just, I wanted to make this one kind of look run down a bit. So I bought some mossy stone with me. This is literally the only bit of mossy stone I have. I think I've got like 11 more at home, but I'm just going to try and use it sparingly because I do want to use it for other builds as well. But I do need to go out and try and find some more on a future date. But that is not our concern right now. So yeah, the whole idea is to kind of try and make this thing look a little bit run down and yeah, just kind of fit into the vibe of it being a zombie farm, I guess. Do some post-apocalyptic type looking thing, I guess. Can't forget. Okay, and then we'll just kind of dot some fences in. I'm not gonna fill them in completely again because we're trying to get this to look like all run down and stuff. Yeah, just something like that. And now what we can do is we can kind of just chip away at the ceiling here. Something like that, and take one more out there, I guess. One more there. Let me just get some of these slabs. I can never leave these at the top. It always annoys me. I've got to pick up everything that I break. Thank you. Is there more we can... I'm gonna chip away from the sides here too. Haven't really done that. Just take that, and I'll take that one too. Thank you. Okay, maybe... Is that a bit too over the top? I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. And then we could just get some mossy stone into the floors here. Oh yeah, man. I'm just gonna fill all this in with stone. And now what we can do is we can just have a simple kind of pathway, I guess, leading out to the zombie farm. Okay, it is nighttime right now, which is a bit shit because that kind of prevents me from seeing properly. So what I'm going to do is, as per usual, I'm just going to wait till daytime and we'll continue on with whatever we have to do. Okay, so it is now daytime. I just went ahead and went back to base just because I wanted to grab a glowstone block for our next build. But yeah, I pretty much just... during the nighttime, I just kind of did a couple of extra things. I just did this little section here and added a staircase that goes down to the open terrain. Alright, so the next thing that I want to build, which I believe I mentioned before, was the zombie statue. So I thought that, you know, it'd be pretty cool just to have one here to, I guess, show off what this place is. So I'm thinking we can do it like right on top of this hill here. I don't know why I did that, hold on. Maybe like right here. I'm thinking some of these trees, we'll clear them out, like this one here. This kind of blocks the view, so this can go. So just like right up on this hill here, honestly. Just right here. So we'll start off. Now, I'm not going to make this like a one-to-one scale statue like I did with the chicken. I thought, you know, I'll just do something like a small little statue, little cute statue, whatever, instead of doing a one-to-one thing, because two reasons. Number one, I thought I'll do something a bit unique, and number two, I can't be bothered gathering all that wool. So this is what we'll be doing, just something super basic. Just something like that, and then we're going to do this for his arms. Bring these out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And then for his head, just very simple. Do something like this. Get his eyes, just like that. There we go. All right, let's go down and have a look at our new friend here. Go. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. It's a simple little something just to add a little bit of flavor to the world. Now what I'm thinking is the reason I went ahead and got this glowstone is over here we have the old dirt beacon thing that we made. So we made this when we found it in episode 2. And what I was thinking as a substitute now is I can give this guy a torch in his hand, so he can essentially act as our new torch beacon. Just so, you know, we can find this place, I guess, even though it's, you know, pretty obvious given the big railway that leads up here. So just do something like that. And then I'm gonna bring it up one more. Closer. Just hoping that is out. Good enough. There we go. There is our zombie statue. Look at him holding the torch. He's our new beacon. Our guiding light to find this area, even though the big railway leads us here anyway. He's here to just greet us, I guess. Leave any name suggestions you got for this guy down in the comments, by the way. If any of you have any, I'll be more than happy to give him some sort of name. I think he definitely needs one. But with all that done, this finally brings us to the end of this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty much everything that Beta 1.2 has to offer. This is the first video that we've made, which, you know, we've actually had multiple bits of content to look over in 2 separate videos. You know, the previous 2 versions was pretty much just building in both the things, and same thing here, but yeah, this time we actually had some new features and additions to go over. So yeah, that, like I said, brings us to the end. So in the next episode, we will be in Beta 1.3, where we see the addition of things such as, well, beds, for starters. Beds, I'm really excited to get my hands on. I believe there was also cobblestone slabs, wood slabs, and redstone repeaters as well. So with that, we'll be able to actually mess around with the note blocks a little bit more. I did want to kind of mess around with them a bit here as well, which I think I said before. Like I wanted to do like a doorbell thing for the house and just get like a little tune that plays whenever you activate it, but unfortunately not doable right now. As far as I'm aware, it's not doable right now because we don't have redstone repeaters, which allow us to kind of add that little delay, which is needed to play a lot of songs on them. So yeah, we'll likely be doing that, but the main focus for the next episode is likely going to be you know, home improvements, just renovations for the house, because, you know, it's been sitting kind of unfinished in some areas for a while, and I thought we can finally use some time to just expand upon it. So the next episode will just be solely focused on that. As for the episode after that, no idea. We're gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, geez, I keep rambling on. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy, please feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want to join me on this journey if you're new to it. And feel free to leave any suggestions down in the comments below. I do read the comments, and I'm more than happy to take any suggestions. I have some noted down that I'm still yet to get to, but we will get to them eventually. But anyways, all that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.